how it began. And he was really tested as soon as he became president and CEO. It was around the time of the global financial crisis. The sudden unintended acceleration recalls were a huge test for him.
Koji Sato, Toyota's CEO, has just ruined the whole damn thing for Toyota. See, this is the company that you've always relied on for sturdy and dependable trucks, the very brand that practically set the standard for the entire truck market. Now, they are making a significant change that feels like the ground is shifting beneath our feet. But why? What's this new plan for Toyota then? And how is this going to affect us, the consumers, and the industry too? What exactly is happening? This is a calculated shift in strategy that raises numerous questions. You might be wondering, what could compel Toyota, a company famous for its formidable V8 Tundra and reliable Tacoma models, to take such a bold step? What unknown challenges might they be grappling with? And how extensive are these issues, not only for Toyota, but for the entire automotive landscape? Currently, the automotive industry is in the middle of a dramatic transformation, one that's compelling every player in the field to reconsider their approaches. This isn't merely a minor adjustment, the entire scene is being redefined from the ground up. New competitors are emerging from unexpected quarters, while consumer preferences are shifting as rapidly as a remote control in the hands of a channel surfer. With growing environmental concerns, rapid advancements in technology, and unpredictable economic factors at play, buyers today are demanding more from their vehicles than they ever have before. Navigating this complex and evolving environment has become an uphill battle for Toyota, presenting a myriad of challenges that threaten to undermine the strong reputation they have built over the years. The stakes are high, as it is no longer simply about selling cars. It's about survival in an atmosphere where change is the only constant element, and you need to understand just how deeply these are obstacles affecting Toyota, pushing them to rethink their entire truck production strategy. Let's dive into the details, but before we do that, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out. No more sales. Looking closely at sales figures, things become clear. By the middle of 2024, Toyota was experiencing a significant downturn. Global sales were down by about 4%, which equates to roughly 6.1 million vehicles on the roads. It's essential to pay attention to the specifics here. Within Japan, a market where Toyota has typically enjoyed a commanding presence, sales plunged by a staggering 27%. Plus, Toyota Motor North America reported sales of 162,595 vehicles in September, which is a decline of 20.3% compared to the same month in the previous year. This illustrates a serious struggle right in their home market. Meanwhile, things weren't looking much brighter on the international front. The increase was marginal at best, standing at just 2.6% in sales. And this modest uptick was largely due to increased demand from the American market attempting to counterbalance the losses at home. But why? I have got two words for you: market dynamics. Focusing on electric vehicles, companies like BYD and Tesla have positioned themselves as significant competitors to Toyota, primarily through aggressive pricing strategies that make it challenging for Toyota to maintain its footing in the market. These electric vehicle manufacturers have successfully captured a substantial portion of the automotive market by offering budget-friendly options that are simply too appealing for cost-conscious consumers to overlook. Let's dive into those pricing wars. The competition in the automotive industry has intensified, with brands like BYD and Tesla cutting prices left and right to attract buyers. It feels like a fierce tug of war, where Toyota finds itself caught between two difficult choices, either slashing its own prices or enhancing its offerings with added features and attractive financing opportunities. Historically, Toyota has sailed smoothly on a sea of premium pricing, enjoying shiny profit margins as the wind in its sails. But now, with fresh competitors like BYD slashing their prices, the journey isn't as smooth as it once was. Adding to the complexity is the shift in consumer preferences. Nowadays, people are increasingly concerned about sustainability and reducing the costs associated with vehicle ownership. Hence, electric vehicles are often viewed as the golden ticket. After the world became more aware of the harsh impacts of climate change, a significant number of consumers began to abandon traditional trucks and SUVs. Instead, they have eagerly gravitated toward electric vehicles, viewing them as more gentle on the environment. All these changing tides have undeniably impacted Toyota's share of the market. To break it down further, Toyota's market share has seen a decline, dropping from a comfortable 12% to a less favorable 9%. For a brand that once held a dominant position in the automotive industry, this downward trend raises serious concerns. This decline isn't just about slipping sales numbers, it serves as a flashing red light indicating a potential loss of consumer trust. At the same time, we cannot overlook the ongoing transition towards electric vehicles, which is disrupting the industry. Sure, Toyota has showcased its prowess in hybrid technology, managing to boost hybrid sales in North America by an incredible 57.2%. However, the kicker is that while Toyota has played it safe with hybrids, it has somewhat missed the boat on the full electric vehicle wave. Their overall performance is beginning to lag behind competitors that are eagerly chasing after the fully electric vehicle market. For consumers specifically searching for fully electric options to travel from point A to point B, Toyota could be perceived as falling behind in the race for cutting-edge technology. But these are not all the challenges. Now, let's discuss another pressing issue that's shaking things up for Toyota in significant ways. Let me break it down for you. New image. This latest iteration has encountered serious issues related to its brand new turbocharged engine and updated transmission systems. These aren't minor adjustments, they are essential changes that appear to be causing more headaches than excitement among consumers. More importantly, these issues could potentially undermine Tacoma's sales figures and put Toyota's long-standing reputation for rock-solid reliability and top-notch quality craftsmanship under scrutiny. Why should this matter to us? To understand that, we need to stroll down memory lane for a moment. Toyota has painstakingly built its reputation over decades, piece by reliable piece. Think of it as the trusted brand in the automotive world, always there and always dependable. Models like the Tacoma and Tundra have consistently been favored choices for those who prioritize durability and long-lasting performance. If we look at consumer surveys, it becomes clear that the name Toyota often stands proudly among the best of the best. It receives high praise for its longevity and ability to withstand the test of time. People wanted a vehicle brand they could count on to handle endless road trips and daily commutes without a hitch. Yet now, in what feels like a twist of fate, recent developments are casting shadows over this once unshakable reputation. The 2024 Toyota Tacoma, once synonymous with reliability, is now making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Over the years, sales of the Tacoma have taken a nosedive, leaving industry analysts scratching their heads in confusion. Even more alarming is the rising chatter among consumers regarding potential quality issues. Yes, you heard me right. People are starting to talk, but not in the positive way we would hope for. Imagine cruising down the road in your new 2024 Tacoma, expecting a smooth ride, and suddenly the vehicle starts shifting like it has a mind of its own. Sounds like a nightmare, doesn't it? For some unfortunate Tacoma owners, this is the harsh reality they are facing. On top of engine troubles, this latest model is grappling with some serious transmission issues. Imagine experiencing erratic gear shifts that feel more like being tossed around on a rodeo bull than enjoying the drive in a sleek truck. This isn't merely a minor annoyance, it's a significant concern that raises flags over safety and comfort, two factors that drivers regard as essential. What's happening with the shifting? Complaints have been pouring in about harsh gear changes that feel startling and delays in engagement that leave drivers feeling uneasy. In unfortunate cases, some owners are even facing complete transmission failures, an ordeal that leaves them stranded and reconsidering their choice to upgrade to the 2024 model. These performance issues do more than simply frustrate drivers. They seriously question the Tacoma's engineering reputation. It makes you wonder if this is really the same Toyota that has been synonymous with reliability for generations. So, what are the consequences of this situation? Unfortunately, it's not looking good for Tacoma's sales figures. Dealerships are starting to feel the pinch as they watch their inventory collect dust due to a decline in consumer confidence. Buyers are no longer lining up to purchase a truck that presents a rough and unreliable driving experience. And the dip in trust, that's gonna be a rough road to recovery, even for a brand with Toyota's rich history. Declining sales are the first visible signs in the unfolding saga of the 2024 Tacoma. Not too long ago, the launch of this model generated a wave of excitement, inspiring truck lovers everywhere to envision big dreams. But that enthusiasm has made a sharp U-turn, quickly transitioning to skepticism almost overnight. The discontented voices echoing through online forums and ringing out on social media platforms have potential buyers hesitating before reaching for the keys. It's akin to visiting a buffet only to decide against the pasta after hearing numerous tales of stomach troubles from those who sampled it. The cold, hard truth is that anticipated sales figures have started to slip away, falling considerably short of what was expected. However, it extends beyond mere sales figures. There is a common saying that trust takes years to cultivate and mere seconds to destroy. Toyota is now seeing firsthand the pain of that reality. Once celebrated for its steadfast reliability, Toyota now faces a precarious situation. Longtime devotees, who have dedicated their loyalty to the brand and have experienced its unmatched performance over the miles, are vocalizing their growing dissatisfaction. They express concerns that the company appears to have strayed from the fundamental values that first won them over. This erosion of trust isn't something that can be repaired with a simple apology or a few lofty promises for the future. It's a slippery slope that could potentially lead loyal customers straight into the arms of competing brands, those that have yet to lose the faith of their dedicated followers. Then there's the broader aspect, damage to reputation, which poses an invisible but very real threat. These mechanical issues aren't just shrinking immediate sales, they are also eroding Toyota's polished image as a standard bearer for quality and reliability. Negative reviews, once ignited, can spread like wildfire, transforming and shifting public perception. Furthermore, these damaging narratives have a tendency to linger like morning fog, complicating any efforts for a grand comeback or a restoration of the once unassailable status that Toyota was known for. What's the impact though? When you look at the bigger picture, it is clear that the 2024 Tacoma is creating quite a stir across its network of suppliers, shaking up the delicate balance that holds together the entire automotive supply chain. Imagine this scenario. While Toyota grapples with significant drops in sales and growing concerns about quality, the resulting impact is forcefully resonating throughout its suppliers. This dynamic is sending out wave after wave of repercussions, capable of creating a chain reaction that could destabilize not only Toyota itself, but also entire sectors within the automotive industry. Now, let's focus on those suppliers. The statistics are astonishing. Over 300 suppliers are currently facing financial distress directly linked to plummeting orders from Toyota. These businesses have their cash flow intricately tied to Toyota's production decisions, meaning that any cutbacks on truck production hit them hard and fast. This situation is no mere blip on the radar. It's an all-out storm brewing. Whether Toyota's reductions stem from a lack of customer demand or a significant shift in strategy, the effects send shockwaves through the supply chain, reverberating all the way down to the smaller players involved. As orders decline, the number of requested parts and components begins to dwindle as well. For those suppliers who depend on a consistent flow of orders, this sudden drop leads to immediate financial trouble. Picture operating a business that loses its largest client overnight. That's the stark reality that many suppliers are now facing. Financial strife creeps in as cash flow issues burgeon, increasing the pressure to maintain operations both literally and figuratively. Consequently, suppliers find themselves mired in an operational quagmire, forcing them into survival mode as financial pressures compel them to make hard, sometimes ruthless decisions. Layoffs and cutbacks become the new norm. Employees bear the brunt of job losses while local economies reliant on these firms face the repercussions, with unemployment figures beginning to climb. It's a disheartening domino effect that sends ripples far beyond the offices of Toyota or its immediate suppliers. On top of that, we must consider how this financial strain impacts quality standards. When there's a tightening of funds, some suppliers might be tempted to cut corners in a bid to save money, resulting in compromised quality. This creates a vicious cycle. By skimping on quality, subpar parts eventually find their way to Toyota, potentially leading to recalls that could further tarnish the company's reputation. But wait, the woes surrounding the 2024 Toyota Tacoma are not the sole factor contributing to Toyota's struggles. Now let's dive into the broader economic implications. The automotive industry is currently experiencing a roller coaster ride, influenced by a mix of economic factors that are anything but straightforward. Picture an environment where vehicles aren't merely machines, but rather pawns in a complex global chess game, manipulated by elements like inflation, chaotic supply chains, and the ever-changing landscape of international trade policies. It's a tumultuous period for every car company trying to navigate these hurdles. Inflation operates as a stealthy thief, quietly pillaging wallets without leaving a mark, except of course for the undeniable impacts on vehicle costs and consumer financing options. The excitement people once felt about purchasing a new vehicle is fading as the cost of living continues to soar. Now more than ever, consumers are holding onto their wallets tightly, prioritizing essential expenses while hesitating on large purchases. To put it in perspective, by the year 2023, inflation rates in many parts of the globe stubbornly hovered around 5% or higher, which has shaken consumer confidence to its core. It's like a chain reaction. When confidence dips, wallets tighten, which ultimately leads to a slump in car sales, particularly for those sleek, shiny, high-priced models. The situation becomes even more complicated with disruptions in the supply chain, which have occurred as a result of the pandemic and geopolitical tensions. The automotive sector seems to be a target, suffering blow after blow, particularly when it comes to crucial components like semiconductors that have become exceedingly scarce. For major players such as Toyota, these shortages translate directly into delays in manufacturing and distribution hiccups that further complicate their sales metrics. This isn't merely a minor setback, it resembles a full-blown crisis, sending shockwaves rippling through the industry. Manufacturers scramble to secure parts, driving costs upward, and guess what? Those increased costs inevitably trickle down to the consumer. Let's not overlook the influence of global trade policies. They're like the hidden puppeteers steering market dynamics, creating waves through tariffs and trade agreements. These policies can dictate the costs associated with transporting vehicle parts across international borders and influence where manufacturers choose to base their operations. For example, any fluctuations in trade relations between the United States and China could disrupt Toyota's supply chain planning, affecting their cost structures, particularly considering how many parts are sourced from Asia. So what now? With suppliers caught in a challenging situation, the repercussions stretch far and wide, significantly affecting not just Toyota, but also the communities and economies that operate around them. Let's dive into the topic of job losses. When companies that supply parts to Toyota start to lay off workers, the consequences go beyond just business. They impact real lives and the fabric of local communities. As unemployment rates begin to rise in these areas that heavily rely on those jobs, we witness a wave of economic hardships sweeping through. Picture the scene. Families struggling to make ends meet while local stores feel the heat as their customers, who once had disposable income, now tighten their belts. This creates a vicious cycle. People losing jobs leads to decreased spending, and local businesses in turn find it harder to survive without the purchasing power that keeps them afloat. Now, let's turn our attention to the pressing issue of quality assurance. This is where things can really get tricky. Suppliers who are already running into financial difficulties might feel the pressure to postpone essential investments in technology or necessary upgrades that ensure they meet quality standards. Consider the ramifications of this approach. Not only does it threaten their own survival, but it also endangers the brands they support. Like Toyota, reducing investment in quality is akin to making a deal with the future. It's a sacrifice that could ultimately cost them their hard-earned reputation. In addition to these problems, we're looking at rising costs that could be another hurdle for these suppliers. When the price of materials skyrockets while orders dwindle, suppliers can find themselves ensnared in a web of financial challenges. Imagine trying to juggle two conflicting situations, dwindling revenue on one hand and rising costs on the other. To strike a balance, raising prices for the remaining clients might appear to be the only viable option. However, this leads to another set of problems. It places a strain on existing relationships and reduces their competitiveness in an already competitive market. Next, let's talk about the dreaded supply chain disruptions. You know the saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. This rings true in the context of supply chains. Given the intricacies of modern supply chains, where many suppliers are interconnected, a disruption experienced by one can send tremors throughout the entire network. If a key supplier cannot deliver essential components on time due to financial difficulties, it could lead to a complete standstill of Toyota's production line. The result? A cascade of losses and inefficiencies, creating a backlog that resembles rush hour traffic when you just want to get home. The long-term consequences of these challenges run deep into the operations and relationships within the supply chain. Just imagine trying to mend strained relationships with suppliers when trust is already precarious. If suppliers start to feel neglected during tough times, they may begin to scout for new partnerships or scale back their commitments to Toyota. This breakdown of collaboration and trust can corrode the strong foundations that once characterized their mutual relationships. Moreover, as competitors rev up their game name through innovation and improved offerings, any indication of instability within Toyota's supply chain could stymie its agility in responding to the constantly shifting market demands. This creates a ripe opportunity for rivals to swoop in and capture market share right from under Toyota's nose. And we can't ignore the potential damage to Toyota's reputation. This might just be the most alarming consequence of all. The growing storm of challenges has the power to chip away at Toyota's well-established reputation as a trusted name and reliability. If people start to question whether quality issues are a result of supplier failures, the loyalty that consumers once felt may begin to erode, leading them to explore options offered by other brands. Now let's shift gears and examine the future of the truck market. In North America, trucks have long stood as the sturdy backbone of the automotive market, cherished for their utility, reliability, and impressive capabilities. Iconic brands like Ford, Chevrolet, and Toyota have built their legendary standing by crafting trucks that have almost become cultural symbols of strength and dependability. However, we are now witnessing a transformation as electric trucks begin to capture consumer attention. Fueled by growing environmental awareness, the drive for fuel efficiency, and technological advancements that turn yesterday's challenges into today's conveniences, electric trucks are swiftly emerging from the fringes and positioning themselves at the forefront of the market. What does this shift mean for consumer trust regarding the traditional giants of the trucking industry? What's the implications? Brands like Ford and Toyota didn't gain consumer trust overnight. They painstakingly built it one vehicle at a time over decades. Elements like consistent quality control, reliable performance, and heightened customer satisfaction have helped these brands earn their place on this trust pedestal. Yet recently, not everything has gone smoothly. Issues such as frustrating engine failures in the 2024 Tacoma have started to chip away at the trust those companies have worked hard to establish. Suddenly, key qualities like reliability and quality control are facing intense scrutiny. As manufacturers pivot towards electronic technology, they find themselves navigating a growing skepticism from consumers who are increasingly worried about whether these new options can deliver on their promises. Speaking of reliability, let's take a moment to compare electric vehicles with traditional gasoline-powered trucks. According to a study conducted in 2023 by Consumer Reports, the transition to electric vehicles has not been without its bumps in the road. From 2021 through 2023, electric vehicles reported nearly 80% more problems than internal combustion engine vehicles. These issues primarily stem from complexities with batteries and charging systems, which are the very heart of any electric vehicle. Glitches in this core technology amplify reliability concerns, especially when many drivers still view traditional trucks as the dependable choice. But beyond concerns about reliability, what else is pulling consumers towards electric trucks? Apart from their appealing designs and modern tech features, one of the biggest attractions is their operational efficiency and the substantial cost savings they offer. Electric trucks operate around 50% more efficiently than their diesel counterparts, slashing operational costs by a minimum of 20%. For consumers who are keen on sticking to budgets, lower fuel and maintenance costs present a compelling argument for making the switch. Additionally, with environmental considerations becoming a top priority for many, the benefits of going green are impossible to overlook. Electric trucks produce zero tailpipe emissions, which means you're not just helping to alleviate air pollution, you're also playing a part in reducing the overall carbon footprint. For those who are becoming increasingly eco-friendly, these facts are central to the decision-making process when it comes to selecting their next truck. Moreover, the terrain of technological advancements is also quite fascinating. As breakthroughs in battery technology enhance both performance and range, the appeal of electric trucks magnifies. With the expansion of charging infrastructure, the practicality and attractiveness of using electric trucks for various purposes continue to grow. The future is coming into clearer view, painted with sleek electric designs and buzzing with the unassuming promise of innovation. So, is the truck of the future going to be electric? Signs seem to point in that direction as the market evolves at an eye-watering pace. As manufacturers navigate through this complex evolution, the journey ahead for electric trucks is poised to be an exciting one, filled with both potential and hurdles. How brands handle these shifts will undeniably shape consumer confidence and brand loyalty like never before. But what do you think? Can they win back consumer trust? Or is the transition to electric vehicles too significant of a challenge to overcome? Let's know in the comments, and thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video.